Hello friends, Cheryl here with Inked and I am back today to deconstruct and reconstruct my journal for the Margarete Miller Challenge for 2024. Last year I used one of these journals. I buy these on Amazon. They're pre-made journals, and then I decorate the front, and then I usually have pockets on the inside. I don't have any on this one. And I leave the pages blank. And I used this for my Margarete Miller Challenge, which was fine, except that this is how it turned out. As time went on, you can see the first pages start out nice and straight, and then the journal starts curving towards the end here because it's so full. So what I thought I would do is take another one of these finished journals, deconstruct it, and put it back together with a much bigger spine so that I can work with it. And I thought I would come on today and do that with you guys. So these signatures in this journal are they are sewn in. So I should be able to just pull out the string. Oh, there's the pockets that I had cut out. I didn't put them in. I should be able to just pull these out. Now, because I put paper over it, I can't get to the spine to pull it out at the spine because it's covered up, but that's all right. We'll just take these out, and I thought I might make three. I'm going to do either 3 or 4 signatures. So they'll be either 3 months worth or 4 months worth. Let's see how. So there's 52 weeks, and I think maybe I'll do 3 signatures. Just because that's a nice spine amount. So what I'm going to do is take these pages and divvy them up between 3 signatures. Now there are more than 52 pages, but if you've been following my channel, you know that sometimes I do a double spread and sometimes it's just a single spread. And so I want to have that ability for next year. So I think I'll just divide the pages evenly. There we go. I'll just have to pull all those out. But let's make the spine. So I need to cut this into 2 pieces so that I can have a front and back and then put a bigger spine in. So I'm just going to take, this is just a cardstock cover. We'll just cut it in half. There we go. Got a little bit of that paper coming up, but that's okay because we will be gluing on a new spine. So I've got these 2 pages, or 2 covers, and I thought what I would do is make this a fabric spine so that it's flexible, not quite so rigid. And I found this yellow fabric, which I absolutely love, and it goes really well with this. I don't do a lot with yellow, so this will be new for me. Alright, if I want to make, let's see, ooh, a 2-inch spine is really big. How about an 1.5 inches? Let's do an 1.5 inches, and then let's do 3/4 of an inch of material on either side. So that is an 1.5 inches of material going over, and then 1.5 inches for the middle. So I need 3 inches wide. Oh, you didn't know we were going to have to do math today? Oh, always some math involved, right? So let's see, let's put this here, and it doesn't have to be exact, certainly, but we'll just, oh, that tear's really nice. And this should give us a piece for the inside and a piece for the outside. So yep, it's 3.5 all the way. So I think I'm going to cut it a little tall, and then probably what I'll do is fold this over on the front and let the back stick up a little bit. So if we go, those aren't fabric scissors, that's for sure. So if we go there, and then a second piece of this for the inside, or I could do something different on the inside, but no, I think I'm going to do them the same, because one's going to stick up and one's not. Let's use this pair of scissors, and then we'll whittle down the or was I going with that? I totally lost my train of thought. We'll put those signatures into this, and we'll redo the, now we'll redo the spine length as needed, the fabric. So let's see, we're going to go 1/2 inch in. I'm going to draw a line down this, a real light line, so that I can line it up well and have it about even. A lot of times I don't mind if things are wonky. So I drew lines on there and I already can't see them. Okay, let's try that again. Ah, there it is. 1/2 inch there. And now I see them, now that I'm putting the ruler down there. So we're going to go here to here. And it's just a really light line, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Go 1/2 inch there. To 1/2 inch. Oh, is that 1/2 inch? I guess it is. And then that will give us a nice spine. Alright, so how are y'all doing today? Everybody getting their Margarete Miller challenge ready to go? Alright, I think I'm gonna do the junk journal January. So I'm gonna need to make a much smaller journal for that one. Alright, let's put a good amount of Fabri-Tac down. To hold this in place, and I love to use my silicone brush to just smooth it out so that, especially with this fabric, because it's so thin, and don't want to have it smooshing through from once, you know, through the fabric and leaving big spots on the outside. So there we go. And we'll put this right down on that line. And there we go. Okay. I'm going to pause you guys for just one moment, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze, and I didn't want to do it in your ear. So let me do this so that I know how far up I'm going to put this about right here. Okay. At the 1/2 inch mark. Perfect. But actually, I need to transfer that mark to the front so that I can put this down here. All right, let's put down some more Fabri-Tac. I had a lot of fun with the Margarete Miller challenge last year. There were times I got behind, especially when I did shows and stuff, I'd get a little bit behind, but I caught up and finished, and it's fun to look back. You definitely have your favorites, and you definitely have some that are not favorites at all. You don't like how they turned out, but you know what? Isn't that the way with any art? You have some pieces that you just absolutely love, and then other pieces, it's like, yeah, it's okay. Not my favorite. Alright, let's start that right there. And bring it down. Maybe should have gone a little farther than 1/2 inch, but I think it'll be okay. So yeah, that'll be my cover, but we'll have also another piece on the inside that will mirror. Well, actually, I was going to fold this down and make a covered top there. I've got some extra glue, but that's okay because we're going to cover that with another piece of fabric. So let's do this. And cover it. There we go. Now I can go down the edge. Probably should have drawn the lines on the inside as well so I can see how far in to put it, but that's all right. We'll wing it. this like this. I'm going to sew this as well. I'm pretty sure I need to sew it down, and we'll go down this side. And I'm throwing everything around here. And there we go. There we go. That is sewn down, and I can tear this off and fray it a little bit. I'm not going to leave it super far out the top. I just want to have a little bit showing top and bottom. And that actually, probably should glue that down because that leaves a little opening all the way down the spine. But you know what? I may leave it open for now because as things go along, I may want to stiffen up that spine at some point. And if I have it open like that, I could slip something down in there. Alright, so there's my new journal cover. I don't have decorations for it yet, but I'm going to pause you all and head over to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew this down and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I got the spine sewed on, and that looks really plain, so I thought I would take this piece. This is a filet crochet placemat that I have, and I thought I would glue a piece of this onto the spine, but I'm going to wait till after I sew in my signature so that it covers up my stitching. But I think that that's really a nice little addition to go over the spine, just to put a little lace on there. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. Now let's take these signatures apart, and I don't know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. I guess I could have counted how many pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have counted the pages and then just split them that way, but this will work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 left over. Perfect. Alright. Now these already have some holes in them, but I don't think it's enough to compromise the sturdiness of the paper. So if I take these and lay them out in here, I'm going to need to make a little template, and we'll have a good bit of space in between the signatures so that there'll be plenty of room to grow. So let's make a template. Let me find a piece of... Okay, first thing we're going to do is mark this as the top. And we're going to take it over to the spine, the edge of the spine there, and cut it so it's the right width. Alright. I love that paper trimmer, by the way. It was an inexpensive one on Amazon, and so we're probably going to want one that is in the middle, roughly. Right, I guess I could measure this. This is 1.5, so, or no, it's a little over 3. So we're going to want to go 1.5 and 1.5. And then that gives us, so we're going to go 3/4 here. 3/4. And 3/4. And that should give us plenty of room. So let's go here. Oh, I already did my 1.5 here. So I've got 1.5 and 3/4 and 3/4. All right. Let's draw our lines for the template so we know where to poke the holes so that it all lines up. At least, you know, they never line up exactly perfect, I find, because this is all handmade and we're not machines, but it sure gets close enough. Like that one, oh, that's about right. All right, that one. And that one. All right, now, how far down do we want to go? Well, should I do a 5-hole? Is 3 going to be enough? Let's do 5. So we've got about 8.5, so 4.25 is going to be midline. 4.25. And then out of 4.25, I need to split that into thirds. So let's do, I'm not going to get it exact. I'm just going to go, let's do 1 inch down, and then 2 3/4. Let's do that. Let's do 1 inch, 2 3/4. Oh, I didn't do the bottom ones. But I can actually fold this in half and get that same thing. So let's do 1 inch. Then we have 1 3/4. And then however much this is. And that's good enough. Let's see if I can see through this well enough to let's just do it the right way. Okay, so what did I say? I had 1 inch and 2 3/4. We have 1 inch and 2 3/4. All right. We'll just take our time and do it right instead of trying to wing it and get it all screwed up. All right, there we go. And this is the top. So this is where our holes will go. So the first thing I want to do is poke the holes in my journal. And I'm going to go off to the side here a little bit so that I can poke into my, there's a pokey tool, so I can poke into my craft mat and not, because that's a ceramic tile and it's not going to poke very well. All right, there's 1, 2, 3. Let's see if those are going through. They are. 1, 2, 3. Okay, rather than have you guys watch all of this, I'm going to pause and do a little of this off camera so we can keep this a little bit shorter, but you guys see what I'm doing. I'll be right back. Alright, holes are all poked. I did go back, once I poked through, I did go back with my pokey tool and poke through one extra time just to really make sure those, so you can see those holes there in the fabric are visible from both sides. So those are done. Now for our 3 signatures, we need to do the same thing. Only on this one, if you've never done this before, we're just gonna, I just took my template, folded it right down that center line. Okay, and the cover's a little bit taller, obviously, because we had that extra, so I'm just gonna kind of fit it center here. And I'm just gonna go through and poke the same holes right through my paper. And if you don't get them all the way through, it's not the end of the world, because, see, this one didn't poke right on the crease, but that'll be okay. You can go back through and, you know, punch them a little bit bigger if you need to. All right, now, because I had to line this up, I'm actually going to take one of these for my template for the other 2 and punch those through real quick. And then we'll sew them in. Now, I'm going to have to decorate the front, obviously, and ooh, I made that one really big. That's all right. Okay, there's that one. And then this goes back in that first one. Don't let me forget that. And this may not line up. They never line up all 100%, and that's okay. Like I said, it's handmade, and nothing's ever going to be, nothing, no matter how hard you try, is ever going to be exact. It just isn't going to happen with so I punched one of those real big again, but that's okay, it's not that big. So this goes back in here, and then this, I just want to make sure that we have punched our holes really well. Alright, so here's our 3 signatures, and they're now going to get sewn into the journal. I'm going to start with the back. You got to get the top and the bottom just right. Now, here's the problem. I did not punch the holes exactly right for the signatures. So, no worries. I'm going to punch them again. They don't line up exactly with the they don't exactly line up with the cover. I thought I was doing a good job, but actually it's a good thing that that happened, so you can see how to fix something like this. I'm looking for my pencil. I don't see what I did with it. I'll just do this pencil. Alright, so I'm gonna line this up right where I want it, and I want a hole right there. I want a hole right there, one there, one there, and one there. So I just lined it up where I needed it to be, and made those marks so I can go back and open that up and punch those. So let me pause again so we don't take up too much time doing this part of it, and I'll come back when those are all fixed. Alright, I think I might have screwed this up and had it paused when I should have been recording. So I'm going to record. We'll see when I look back on this video. I might have hit that pause button twice, but I want to make sure I get one good recording of putting this signature in for those of you who have not done signatures before. So I'm just going in and out of my holes. As a reminder, from bottom to top, and then we will come back down again. Okay. And this one. So this is a nice loose spine, which is kind of what I wanted because I want it to be able to be flexible as I fill this thing up. Oops, that's not exactly in the hole. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. It's pretty close. And like I said, don't sew through the threads. Make sure you're beside or on top of. Make sure you're not sewing directly through those threads, or you'll never get your page to tighten up. Okay. That one. Again, we're going to go beside the thread and put it in, not through the thread. And then into the hole. And you see we're filling in that line. Again, going beside. I've made fabric journal covers, but I've never done one of these where we have a hard covers, but a soft fabric spine. I've not done this before. So now we're going to pull these tight. sure we look on the outside and make sure they're all tight. And they are. And then we'll again tie it off. And again, I use 3 knots instead of just 2. And there is our second journal. And you see how much flexibility this has. It can move, and a lot more flexibility if it gets to be a gator mouth, which last year's did, so I fully expect this year's probably will too. But I'll also feel like I have more flexibility to do some thicker pieces if I want to, some chunky pages, because I know I'll have the flexibility for that spine to move. Alright, I am going to pause on this one. Oops, come on. So this is the fun part of working with embroidery floss. I got all but one little strand through the eye of the needle, so I'm trying to pull that. Last strand doesn't want to come through, so we'll go back to the beginning and thread it through. Sometimes you can pull on the rest of the strands and it'll pull that one through. This one's not wanting to do that. So we'll just, all the little nuisances you run into when you're doing stuff like this. There we go. The whole thing's through now. All right, I'm going to pause, sew this one in, and I'll be right back. All right, here we go. So I've got them all sewn in, and I've got lots of strings hanging down. I may leave those for a while and see if I decide I want to put any charms down there. All right, here we go. It's a little puckery right now because we don't have anything in the journal yet. But there are my 3 signatures sewn in. Now, the other thing I wanted to do was to take this and glue it down on the outside edge, or the spine, over that yellow paper. And then it's you can still see the threads through the lace, but actually it goes this way. But it covers them up a little bit. So let's do that. I'm going to go, when I glue on lace, I don't like a lot of shiny showing through. And so if I just put glue all over the the spine there would be a lot of spots of glue where there's holes in the lace, and those would show through really shiny. And I personally, some people don't mind it. Personally, I don't like it. And so I will go around and put glue where there are heavier spots in the lace. And by doing that, I'm not going to say I'm not going to get any shiny spots showing through, but it's a lot less. And I'm going to spread this out as normal so I don't get a lot of glue seeping through the lace, although we may get some because it is, holy. But I'm able to reduce the, whoops, it's my needle. So I'm going to glue this side down first, and then we can roll the other side back and put it on. All right, let's see here. Want this to go, yeah, and see the glue did come through a little bit here. So it'll be a little shiny there, and I may go through and put something else on it later, just because I don't like that, but we'll see. Now, on this side, or down the middle, I'm not going to have glue all over the entire piece of lace. I'm only going to have glue where there are heavier spots and then I may need to tack down a little bit along these edges, but we'll see. Okay, I'm not even going to put that down with the spatula because I think it's okay. Yep, I got to bring that in just a hair so it's not over, because we have to have room for the spine to expand, and I don't want this lace to get in the way of that. So, yep, that works. Now what I'll do is just go along and wherever I think it needs to be tacked down a little more. Now see, there's nothing holding that down right here, these little pieces. However, I have some on either side, so I'm hoping that will take care of that. Okay. I think that's it. I may put some little buttons on here or something to cover up where that glue came through, but that is, and I haven't decorated the cover, obviously, and I'm leaving these for, you know what, I'm not going to put charms on it. This is not the kind of journal to put charms on, and if I want charms, I can clip something to the spine or to the front of it. I'm not going to leave these. I just made an executive decision. Look at that. Oh, one more thing I have to do. I have these pockets. There's one. Where'd the other one go? I don't know where the other one went, but I'll find it. I need to glue these pockets down because... No, this is the front because I like this. Well, actually, maybe I like this as the front. It doesn't really matter. And I use double-sided tape for this because when I put stuff in my pockets, I don't want to, you know, when you glue them down, the glue expands out and covers up some of the pocket, and you get parts of it that get glued together. If you use double-sided tape, it prevents that from happening. So I'm just going to put down, and this, I may put a little piece of lace down there to cover up that stitching. A lot of things I can still do, and I still have to decorate the cover, and I will do that at some point, not today, and we'll do a video on that. Alright, and I use score tape. I know a lot of people do. I've not really tried other tapes, so I can't tell you if others are, you know, equally as good as the score tape, but the score tape is really nice. So I'm just going to ink up these edges. Looks like I inked them a little bit already, but we'll add a little more. And this is where my prompts are going to be housed until I use them. Alright, let's do this. But yeah, on the pockets, I really like using double-sided tape because I know that I'm going to have this area as a pocket and the glue is not going to spread. Alright, let's just put it down right there on the inside there, and then I cut them all out. I'm not sure where I put them, all of my prompts to go in here, but I'll find them and stick them in there. But I did cut them out earlier today. And so you see this folds over, but as it gets full, it won't do that. All right, so there is my Margarete Miller journal for 2024 with some lace, some cloth, and a nice little cover. All right, everybody, I really appreciate you hanging in there with me and watching this video. I hope if you have to make your own journal that this was helpful. Just my one lesson learned from last year was leave room to expand and grow, because I didn't have enough in that old journal. So that was my big takeaway from last year. Leave room for it to expand. And this, you know, like you look here, this goes in, this will all even out, the signatures and the spine, it will all even out as we start, you know, filling up the journal. So if you haven't already, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up and like it, you know, give me the thumbs up, leave a comment please. And what else was I going to say? Oh, remember that every morning except for Thursday and Sunday, I do a live art before breakfast, and it's very interactive. Everybody gets to participate and, you know, contribute to the project that we're working on. It's 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and we go for an hour and a half. So I hope you'll consider joining me on Art Before Breakfast. It's a whole lot of fun. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Good luck with Margarete Miller this year. I'm going to take this journal now and go do my very first prompt. All right, thanks, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.